Okay, we're live. We're live. Hello, hello, hello. Great, powerful, beautiful, wonderful Sunday. I hope you are well. It is May 19th, 2024, day 17 of a lupus minute lesson. Lupus lesson minute. A minute lupus lesson. One of those. Of Lupus Awareness Month. Throw your L's up, Lupies. Yes. So, my name is Tennille Stewart. I help women who've been diagnosed with lupus go from confused and discouraged to healed, hopeful, and in control of the medical narrative. Today, on day 17 of a lupus lesson minute, I thought about the fact that there's a lot of other diseases that go along with lupus, or like other diagnoses that layer with lupus. So last night, someone who grew up on my street, who grew up to be a famous person, hey girl, you famous, she hit me up to tell me that she saw what I was doing, and her mother has Sjögren's. So Sjögren's, I never heard of until hey Mitch, thank you. Hey Bayesian Shinobi, Jermaine. I had never heard of Sjögren's until I got diagnosed with lupus. But that is another common thing that is diagnosed with lupus. So I'm going to give you a few disorders that accompany lupus a lot of the times, the most common ones. I'll probably just go deep dive a little bit into the ones that have ever impacted my life or I know anyone with, and others I will mention and leave it up to y'all to Google, because Google is a thing. Go ahead and look at it, guys. So lupus often occurs alone. However, people with lupus may experience symptoms of other connective tissue diseases. A physician may use the term overlap to describe these diseases. Some common diseases that overlap with lupus are autoimmune thyroid disease, celiac disease, Myasthenia Gravis, Antiphospholipid syndrome. I talked about that one in a few episodes ago. Go look back at that one. It's like the anti-clotting. Rheumatoid arthritis, polymyositis, dermatomyositis. Anything with a my in it, like disease world-wise, my is muscle. And like osis is inflammation. So you can kind of put together what these things are, but I'll go back and tell you what they are. Scleroderma and Sjögren syndrome. So those are the top most common that hit people who already have lupus, or maybe they find out they have that and then they find out they have lupus, or the symptoms just overlap and it looks like it, because you can test in your blood for these things. So you might have the symptoms of something else. Like rheumatoid arthritis is something that a lot of people thought that's what they had, but it was really lupus, because the chronic and severe joint pain is there with lupus. You just might not get the deformity that you would get with rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about. I didn't even write down. Okay, yeah. First, because I this whole thing came up because of my friend's mother. I wanted to say Sjögren's disease. Sjögren's is so much more common than people think anyways. I think people just, it can range from being just kind of uncomfortable to like really bad. So if it's just kind of uncomfortable to you, maybe you just grow accustomed to it and think it's fine. So it's a common, Sjögren syndrome. A chronic autoimmune disorder where the moisture-producing glands do not function correctly. Also can affect internal organs. It's underdiagnosed, most commonly associated with rheumatoid arthritis or lupus. So if you have either of those things or symptoms of both of those things, you might also have Sjögren. So Sjögren's, imagine having like super dry eyes, imagine having like a dry mouth, any like your body that is normally lubricated and it makes you comfortable. Because when your eyes are dry, like maybe you have allergies or something and your eyes are dry, think about how like uncomfortable and painful that can be. So Sjögren's is kind of having that all the time, and it sucks. It very much sucks. So, you know, everybody, we're praying for you if you have those. Hey, Sonia, great evening. What else? Let me tell you other things. So, I've experienced a few people who have Sjögren's syndrome, and, you know, my heart goes out because it's super uncomfortable. I've also, my godfather's niece passed away from Myasthenia Gravis, MG. It's a chronic autoimmune disorder in which the antibodies destroy the communication between nerves and muscles, resulting in weakness of the skeletal muscles. Myasthenia gravis affects the voluntary muscles of the body, especially those that control the eyes, mouth, throat, and limbs. So, her name was Marcy. She was super sweet. I only met her a handful of times that I remember. I'm sure I did when I was little. And she passed when I was in my early 20s. And she had just had a baby. She kind of just wasted away. It's weird because you don't think about all of the things that your body does automatically, that you don't have to, like, you don't have to instruct your body to, like, blink or swallow or whatever. Like, it just does it. Until it doesn't. And then you realize, like, oh, like, this is a very fine line of communication that your body's automatically doing. So every day you wake up and realize that you do all these things automatically, please be thankful, be grateful, because it is not promised. It is not, like, the body is a miracle that it does all these things simultaneously. You're walking and talking and breathing, and your heart is beating, and blood is pumping, and organs are filtering, and all these things are happening, and you don't even notice it until you do. Yeah, she just kind of wasted away. She had a baby, a very small baby, and Kai, you're a good boy now, good kid. So it's something I saw firsthand, and it's scary, and it's something I would never think of. Like, you can distort your face because they're the muscles that you don't think about that you're using all the time. Okay, so another one, rheumatoid arthritis. So RA is super well known, I think. I would hallucinate that it is very well known. People know about it. It is a very painful disease. It deforms people's joints. Like, I could look at somebody's hands, and if they have a deformity, I could tell if it's an RA deformity, because it's kind of the classic RA deformity. So, rheumatoid arthritis, or RA, is an autoimmune and inflammatory disease, which means that your immune system attacks healthy cells in your body by mistake, causing inflammation, painful swelling in the affected part of the body. RA mainly attacks joints, usually many joints at once. So yeah, you could have rheumatoid arthritis in one particular part of your body. Hands is very, very common. Or it could be crippling, like literally cripple your whole body, like knees, feet, anything that hinges. That is something. Let me know if I'm wrong, if people don't know about RA. I've known many people suffering with RA. What else is another one that is very common? I know celiac disease. A lot of people know about celiac disease now. So it is a strong allergy, a strong anti to the wheat, gluten that is in wheat. So until I was vegan, I didn't realize how, because I read a lot of ingredient lists now. I didn't realize how many things had wheat in it. So things that people with celiac disease have to avoid or find a substitute for, because it will really, really hurt them. Like, it's not just like, oh, I feel a little uncomfortable. Like, it will really, really hurt them. And if they go long enough and don't realize that they have even a sensitivity to gluten or, you know, anything like that, it can build up over time. Like, if you're abusing your body over and over every day with every meal and don't realize it, you just kind of grow accustomed to feeling sick all the time. Eventually, when you live long enough, you'll recognize. It's the definition of F around and find out. That's how it goes. So, celiac disease I didn't know anything about it until I think that somebody on The View, a TV show my mom used to watch, had it. Dr. Oz's daughter, I forget her name. She had it, and she said she used to go to the movie theaters, and she would get Twizzlers every time, and she would leave with the biggest stomach ache and had no idea why. And then when she got diagnosed, she started reading ingredients and realized there is wheat in Twizzlers. So if you have no idea if you have celiac, you probably would know because it's more severe than like an intolerance. But give up wheat for like a week, 2 weeks. 30 days is kind of the standard. Give your body 30 days with no, like, do elimination. Do no wheat in anything and see if you feel better. If like, you would normally get a headache or a stomach ache or feel terrible. Yeah, I didn't look up the actual definition of celiac, so I do believe that's so common now that people really do know about that. So the mitosis is, the polymyositis is a disease that can cause muscles to become irritated and inflamed. The muscles eventually start to break down and become weak. The condition affects muscles all over the body. This can make even the most simple movements difficult. So, like when I was in, I think I had testing to see if this is what was happening. Because when I had that major flare-up in, 2010 or whatever, and they didn't think I would walk again, before they sent me to a rehab center to live for a while, I had some testing done because my muscles atrophied so quickly, and it was concerning that maybe it wasn't just that it atrophied, it was that something was actually wrong. So I was weak enough back then that I could not lift my own head. So like, I would be like this unless they propped me up like that, because the muscles in my neck were too weak to lift, or like to lift my arms, or like pointing for a long period of time. Like things that you think your body just does, or like you have to realize that you are balancing your head on your neck. And I have kind of a long neck, so yes, having any kind of posture, not being slumped over, all the muscles, so many muscles are in your body holding you up, holding you back, like centering you. Core strength, super important to keep your body aligned. Like all of these things that you don't think about. There are diseases out there that'll wipe it out that you have no knowledge of. So I'm spreading this awareness of the things that you might not know about lupus or other chronic illnesses that could accompany or overlap, because it's better for you to know and to, first of all, want to keep yourself strong. Hey Darren, God bless you. Want to keep yourself strong and healthy and aware of these things. Like, it's such a blessing. It is such a blessing that I can demonstrate. I can sit up straight. I can hold my neck up. I can blink at my leisure. I can speak to you at my leisure. I can swallow. I can cough and sneeze and do all the things that have been difficult for me at points in my life because of illness. And my grandma always says, if illness was for sale, that company would go out of business because nobody wants it. It is being handed out, though. So be proactive in the way that you take care of yourself. and appreciate that your body is working today. Today, on this beautiful Sunday, your body is working today. You don't have any of the mitosises. You don't have any of the, you're not having a flare up today. So yes, it is a blessing. So, like I said, the my is muscle, and the itis is inflammation, right? So there's another one, dermatomyositis, something like that. It's an uncommon inflammatory disease marked by muscle weakness and a distinctive rash. So if you have just the muscle breakdown, it is the probably the polymyositis. Or if you have if I was paused on Facebook, I apologize. If you ever hear these big words and you're being diagnosed with something, you can break them down into smaller words and figure out what it's about before you ever have to Google, okay? But yes, these are all things that you can get with lupus, or have symptoms that you might think is lupus, but it's actually the other thing, or vice versa. And I am very sorry if you are currently, recently, or have always been with any of these diseases. No! Stop! What's your name? Stop, Alexa! Shh. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Yeah, stop. Anyways, I'm sorry. That must be my time. I should probably go. But yes, thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you. I really hope you guys are out there being healthy, feeling happy, and knowing you can be, healed, if not, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You don't have to be a slave to any of these diseases or disorders or syndromes. Like, we are here with you. We are here fighting alongside you. A diagnosis is not your life. A diagnosis is not a personality. You are still you, and you still get to choose to love to exist in this world as an important part of it. You don't have to be in pain silently alone. We're here for you. We're here to brighten up your day, lighten up your day, inform you, share this with your family and your friends so they know what you're going through. If something on this list hits you that, you might have, talk to your doctor about it. And have a gorgeous Sunday. I love you so much. Thanks again. Bye.